and welcome to the last day of rediscovering your spiritual gifts. I did most of these video lectures a few weeks ago, but I'm glad to know I was right when I thanked you in advance for all your participation. You've been great, and I really thank you very much for that. I'm going to do a few things today in this video, and of course provide your last spiritual exercise for the journal. I want to generalize a little bit about the past 2 weeks, and I want to give some directions for the present, and then I want to make some suggestions about the future. First, I want to say you are a very gifted group of people. Of the 25 gifts listed in the spiritual gift inventory, 13 were recognized among your top 3 gifts. It would have been even more if we had talked more broadly about all your gifts. But think about that a little bit. Even if you were the leadership of only one congregation, you would still need all of those folks back home to completely cover all the gifts that are needed to support all the ministries of the church. So when you go back to your 15 different congregations, you should really recognize how much you need all those other people that you worship and work with. So here's a couple of other things you can do today and over the weekend. You obviously can finish up today's assignments and then start catching up on anything else you've missed. You can gather threads from the discussion board. You can copy your journal entries and save them. You can share contact information if you haven't already so that you can stay in touch with each other after the workshop if you'd like to do that. And then as you go into the more distant future, I invite you to remember all the good ideas you've had here. Pray for those ideas, pray for yourselves, pray for your congregations and all their ministries, and pray for each other. And don't stop praying for those people in your congregation that you've brought up and that we've all been praying for. When you get back, remember also to share what you've learned. And more importantly, share your enthusiasm. Yes, you want to tell people about spiritual gifts, but share that enthusiasm. Almost every workshop anyone goes to, they come back with some enthusiasm, and it dissipates kind of quickly, unfortunately. But if you share that enthusiasm with each other, it might build and it might maintain over time. And finally, implement at least one good idea into your congregation. At least one of those good ideas you've had, bring it into life and help it to build up your church. And by building up your church, you build up the larger church, build up your community, and you build up the world. And finally, for your spiritual exercise today, I want you to write a one-sentence summary of what you've experienced in this workshop. It might be a person who was important in the journey this week, one of the participants, or even someone at home, or someone in your church. Or maybe it was a topic we discussed that brought you spiritual growth, or a passion that's been born or grown in these 2 weeks. And if you want to, rather than writing a sentence, write a bit of haiku poetry, or even a song, anything you want that's a little more creative. And if you want to share those sentences or that poetry with everyone else, you can post it into the discussion board as well as in your journal. I'm really looking forward to reading your responses. And again, I just want to thank you for being part of this workshop, for all I've learned from you, and for all the things that you do in God's name. And I pray for blessings on all of that. Amen.